You guys have probably had a chance to experiment with some of the many filters that are available in Photoshop. And in this video, I'm going to show you the motion blur filter, which is a great way to give your images like a fast, sort of high-speed look. Now, because this filter, not all of them, but this filter in particular, it needs to be applied to the image itself, you're going to want to duplicate your background image either by hitting Command J, or if you have multiple layers in your project, you'll want to have to hit Shift Command Option E. Shift Command Option E. That will merge all of your layers together without deleting the layers that are underneath that layer. Now I have duplicated my background, and what I'm going to do is apply the motion blur filter to this top layer, and then I'm going to use masking to erase parts of the motion blur filter so that part of my horse there is going to be in focus, and then part of it is going to be blurry, giving it that feeling of speed. So I'm going to go up to Filter at the top of the screen, and then I'm going to click Blur and then Motion Blur. I'm going to orientate my motion blur so that it's going horizontally. Make it maybe even angled down just slightly like that, because the camera's kind of at a low angle, so we want to kind of match that. And now you get to play with how blurry you want it to be. I want to convey speed, but it's not going light speed or anything. So something like that might be good. Okay, so this image is now completely blurry. It doesn't look very good because it just looks like a blurry image. So we want to make part of our picture in focus and part of it blurry. So to do that, I'm going to click on the layer mask icon at the bottom of the layers panel. It's the square with the circle inside of it. And then I'm going to go to my brush tool, and I'll use a soft edged brush. And I'm going to use my bracket keys. My right bracket there is going to increase the size of my brush, and I'm going to decide now where my focal point is going to be. I think it'll be like the head of the horse. The head and the neck will be the focal point. Everything else will kind of get less in focus. So what I'm going to do is lower the opacity of my brush, actually, so that where I want it to be really, really in focus, I'm going to go over and over and over. And then where I want the focus to kind of go away, I'll just have be kind of a low opacity. I'll have this knee kind of come forward. And now I'm just going to work on making this front edge of the horse in focus. Get a little bit of the ears in there. Erase some of that halo that's happening there. And now I'll use a lower opacity. I'm just hitting my number keys 10 to lower the opacity of my brush so that the rest of the horse starts to go kind of out of focus. Now we have that feeling of speed that we're going for. I'll bring a little bit of that leg into focus there. And now let's see the before and after. I'm going to option click. So before looks a little bit static. After, the motion blur really helps to make the horse look like it's going fast. And I've also found that desaturating the background also helps to convey speed, because your eye isn't drawn to the colorful things that are in the background. It focuses on the things that are in focus. So if you want, you can desaturate the background using hue saturation. And then if you want to bring some of your picture back into color, you can paint with black on your layer mask there. And watch, everywhere I'm painting with black, the color is coming back. And so that also helps to create that focal point. And remember, hit X to fix your mistakes.